Everybody, welcome to the Artist Talk of Protest, the Art of Activism in the Not Shockbox Art Gallery. Not Shockbox. I can't even say it all together is a funny name, but we lean into it, so we appreciate it. So thank you everybody for being here. We appreciate it. We've got 90 minutes. I probably just cut into that time, so a little less. But we are going to talk about the pieces that these amazing artists have contributed to this amazing show. A few fun facts for everybody. This show has more art in it from places outside of Southern California than it does from inside California. So thank you to the artists who have invested in our gallery, invested in shipping their pieces here, and invested in our space. We are always proud to represent artists, especially those coming from states where this art might not be applicable to whatever galleries you have in your neighborhood. We pride ourselves on being the edgy gallery and showing stuff that others maybe won't. So with that said, I'm going to give a quick tour of the show. You probably have seen it a little bit online, but I would love to give you guys a tour. So I'm going to put down my Diet Coke, not a Coke endorsement, although Coca-Cola, if you want to, I will gladly take your money. Okay. Let's see here. So I closed the door for these artist talks because I don't want people to walk in and interrupt. But basically when, okay, cool. That's exciting. Basically, when you walk in, this is first what you see looking all the way back. We have a main room, and then we have a back room back here that usually gives and lends a little bit more of an intimate experience. You'll see when we get back there. So sometimes we save the extra special or extra emotional pieces for we in the back. And this time we activated the ceiling so you guys can see a bunch of your art up here. Some of it is mixed in with not art submissions, community member made pieces, and we tried to keep them kind of separate so they would know what is for the march this weekend and what's not. So we have it hung all over. When you walk in, the show title is on the wall over here to my left, and then over here we've got more. Whoop, helps if I don't walk into a TV. Here we go. This wall over here. And then I'm going to walk backwards very dangerously to point out our amazing podium piece here. And we'll walk through. We've got more like fiber art vibes on this side, wearable pieces. And then we go to this side's a little bit more like, well, it's doom and gloom in the world, but maybe there's hope. And then we go to the back. Enter a voting booth with your convictions. We made that to hang that up. So it felt like a voting booth. Back here, we have a little bit of historical pieces. We lean into important statements, important visual statements, RBG, RAP. We have videos playing all the time of, we have 3 different videos playing on that bad boy right there. And then back here is our ice center. Some really cool pieces back here that we'll talk about. More artwork here, more cool pieces. The good and pretty paint piece that everybody loves to talk about. Some really cool physical pieces. So, and I lost the base. This is going to be interesting. I got a new stand. It's not awesome. One-man show here. Here we go. Okay. I'm ready. Karen, who are we starting with?
Well, you're in the back room. So let's start with Sean Kalela. That's Protest. That's in the back corner on the left. It looks red. No. Other corner. There you're looking at it.
Oh.
There you go.
Wait, Sean, this piece.
Yes, it's very red. Yes, that's me.
I got it. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You know what? I was so excited for this. I didn't think I was going first though.
Well, here you go. On the spot.
Yeah, so this is my piece, Protest. It's my very first piece on canvas. I usually work on paper, and I usually do collage and pen work. You can see some of the collage. I use some fiber. I use just a lot of different mixed mediums. I use collage, and It was just a very, very fun process. I was told about the show from my professor who is from Southern California. So a little bit of a shout out there. With this piece, I really wanted to think about, the phrase, people usually say history repeats itself, but I like to say that history rhymes. We see things such as, the civil rights movement, but we also see, things with, Black Lives Matter today. We look at, ICE protests, and I think it's very interesting to remember that, we're always going to be experiencing something not exactly the same, but just a little bit similar, and we have to protest that, like protest start of activism.
I agree.
Thank you. Yeah.
There we go. Did I spotlight it? Was everybody spotlit before? Could you see it? Okay. I'm going to trust that I just did something good. Sean, right? I didn't make that up. No.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I really loved that this piece looked so not different, but even better than your submission. I think the texture, when we pulled it out, really made it. And so we're really impressed, and we're really proud to have it in here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm so glad I was able to make it in.
Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Bessie, if you go right next to the left, No Words by Ron Romaine.
Got it.
He wants to speak on. So,
yes.
Ron.
Hello, everybody. Very nice to be here. And I'm a newbie to the art world because I've been working my whole life as a graphic designer and just retired recently. But in college, I had a passion for screen printing. And so I've returned to that. And in college, I was very, very politically oriented in my artwork, and I've continued that for obvious reasons now. Short and sweet, the motivation for this print is I don't do social media, and that's obvious by how well I've not used Instagram recently. And a part of it is I just don't like to get my news that way. I don't like watching video. I prefer to read it, and that way I can kind of control my emotions because I get angry very quickly with all that's going on, and I'm retired. I want to enjoy my life. And so this was an exception, though. I went and watched a video of the Sandra Good shooting, and it affected me viscerally. I mean, I was upset the entire day, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. And the last line of the ICE agent walking away and calling her what he called her, I found so dehumanizing and so upsetting. And it was just the most violent thing I think I've ever seen, live action. And so this was really just my attempt to kind of just show the idiocy of what occurred and the humanity of who was lost. And so I did a couple of prints in this vein using statements and bullet holes. But this is one of my very favorites. It's not comfortable for me to look at, but I'm proud of the result.
And those of you who can't really see, there are actually holes in the paper, obviously, next to obviously what's the blood.
I did not actually shoot that. I used it. Yeah.
Well, and it's probably not real blood either, although we do have a piece in this show that has real blood. So there's that. I'm going to come over, Ron, while we're here to your other pieces.
Oh.
Yes. So I believe these 4 right here, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Well, I don't need to say too much on these. I don't think they're pretty self-evident. I Have a Dream is one of my more recent prints, and I've had this dream for years now, and I don't know if it's ever going to come true. I fear that it won't, but at least I can now visualize it, and this print, I can look at it and it makes me happy. Yeah, the I Have a Dream, upper left, I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah, no worries.
And then the lie print, I'm sorry, I've never, I know politics, there's lying all the time, but our current president has taken that to a new level. I can't believe that anybody believes a word out of his mouth. And so that was just my feelings around that. The one to the upper right, it's a funny story. The name of this is God Era. And when I created the print, I was going to name it something to do with pestilence because that's what he's releasing to the world. Well, I just did a search and found this Wikimedia post on the God Era, and I forget what culture it's from. I always blank out on that. But basically, God Era is the god of pestilence, number one, but more importantly, he's the god of dysfunctional politics. And so that was just, I couldn't not use that name, even though nobody's going to know what the heck it means. So hopefully,
Well, now we
people,
do.
now at least you guys do. And then the last one, the Supreme Court. It's going into this. If you talk to my friends, you'd see I was the one standing up for the Supreme Court all the time. It's like, no, they have principles. No, they won't let our country, fall through the cracks. And son of a gun, they kind of are. And that's just very disillusioning and very upsetting. I'm an old guy. I never thought I would see anything remotely like this. So all of these prints really come from my heart, and they are a form of therapy for me. And so anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share. I absolutely love being a part of your show. You are so wonderful to work with, and you've pulled together such a great amount of work. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Ron, I'm also a graphic artist, and that's my day job. So,
oh, yay.
Fun fact.
Jessica,
one more.
can I jump in?
Yes, please, go ahead.
For Ron, when I saw your piece in the back room with the bullet holes and the extent of the text, are you familiar at all with Mark Bradford's work?
I'm sorry to say I'm not. No.
Go ahead and write down his name.
Okay.
I saw a huge piece of his, and they run huge, but at Los Angeles County Museum of Art.
Okay.
And it was the text was the transcript of a 911 call of someone who'd been stopped for a traffic stop, I believe, and then there was a police shooting, and it really hit me the same way. So
yeah,
I just wanted to ask.
Thank you. Yeah, the words have such power, don't they? It's just.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, thank you. No, LACMA, I used to live in Southern California, and so that was my favorite museum to go to. So I miss it, but shout out and thank you. I'll live through you.
Jesse, Ron has one more. It's the Bent Not Broken over in the corner next to Allison's piece.
Oh, I'm headed there. Hang tight. Here we go.
Just so we can all see it too.
Yes. I don't know how I forgot. Here we go.
Well, you guys are too kind showing all of mine. I feel a little embarrassed, but this one, I've spent so much time putting the things that externally I'm feeling angry about. This one was really about just me just dealing with my own anger and frustration. I've really had to work hard at finding a balance. I found myself hating the people who voted for him, which are the wrong people to hate. I need to hate the people who they voted for. And so this is just, getting this idea that my brain is out of control, my heart is broken, my stomach is in knots, I have I have a lump in my throat. These are all things that I feel physically from all the emotional pain. And so I just wanted to get it out. And you'd be surprised how much this helped me. I mean, this really was a piece of therapy. It
is cathartic, for sure.
Yes. And so anyway, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else have questions, comments? Okay. All right, where am I off to next, Karen?
So the big collage in the back, since
yes
there.
Let's go there.
That's called At a Crossroad, and it is by Joanna, and I'm so sorry, I might butcher your last name. So maybe you could introduce yourself for all of us.
Okay. Beyond the Lilo. Joanna's great. We can dispense with that. That actually, I have been putting together 3D work. I'm a photographer by trade. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And I worked mostly in fine art for a long time. But I did photo documentary on the side. And a couple of years ago, one of my friends said to me, there's nothing wrong with the fine art, but you really need to get back to full-time photo documentary. And I, thought about it for a while, and then finally just kind of ditched everything else and jumped back into it. These are all places I've been. I have been going from city to city as all of this chaos has unfolded. And I have almost 15 assembled at this point because, and I know you can't tell from looking, people can't tell from looking at it. These are all raised and lowered. When I started this group, this series of work, I was thinking to myself, how do I get people to stay a little longer in an image? Because when you walk up to a standalone, you look at it for a little bit, you move on. I wanted people to come into the work. So the background are all verifiable headlines. So I started tracing all of the headlines that were going on. This is kind of cool because it crosses a large group of things. It crosses the wars that we're jumping into, LGBTQ rights, bringing God into everything. We need to just quit that crap. Mental health. The picture in the bottom corner, I actually photographed in an asylum. And when you see it up front, it's a man in a straitjacket. I was doing some work on the East Coast. It's got homelessness and Black Lives Matter and, the school shootings. And then, of course, where we have entered into all of our protests. And the picture, one of the ones I love is the church. And the church was literally for sale. So I just put on it, what does it say when the house for sale is owned by God? And who is God? That was also in the asylum. Yeah, that was a creepy place. So the work that I've been doing, there are probably 15 now in this series, and 3 or 4 of them are all, kind of a grouping of various topics, but some are just on homelessness. One is on how we're losing our farms and poison food. One is on Abandoned America, which is basically how we have nearly one abandoned house for every single homeless person in the country. One is on social media. It's called The Social Society. The one I'm doing right now is called This is America. And it has Minneapolis and Milwaukee and Charlotte and Austin and Fort Worth. I'm headed to Dallas on Saturday. I mean, it's got stuff from all of these protests around the country. It's got DC in it. I've been there a few times. So it's exhausting and it's been really crazy. And, I understand what Ron's talking about when he talks about the emotion involved, because I'm in a state where what is going on here is not as open as Minneapolis. It's insidious. And our governor has 60% of our police forces signed up with ICE. And so what we're doing is, and we have all been trained as to how to handle what we see so we don't get killed. But what they've done is they've hooked up with all of our police departments and the state police, and they're pulling people over on pretext. Your license plate is crooked. Your tail light is cracked. You changed lanes without signaling. And then while they have somebody pulled over, they're checking. They're checking to see, is this a minority person, whatever. They literally call ICE. ICE is in the wings. They're at them in 2 to 3 minutes max. And those people are gone before we can do anything to help them. And they're doing it on highways where there are cement dividers and you literally cannot get to them. There was a trooper on my street harassing somebody. I'm on a dead end street. What is a state trooper doing on my street? So, I live in a Black neighborhood. I'm mixed race, and they never came to help us. I couldn't get a pizza delivered to my neighborhood. And now I got cops everywhere. We're aware of it. It's, this one is really cool. This one I did throughout last year, and this one has been traveling quite a little bit. I was thrilled to have it in California because I regard California as this really big, cool place. So if you're going to have art somewhere and you can get it in California, New York, oh my gosh, that was an absolute thrill for me. So I want you to know that.
Thank you so much,
Joanna,
Joanna. That means a
Joanna,
lot.
where do you live?
It's
That
been a ride, and I can honestly say I have not slept more than 4 or 5 hours a night for a year because I am constantly on the road and, sleeping in my van if I'm waiting for something. And we're trying. I mean, we are trying. We are trying to stop the
You're
madness.
doing important work. Where are you at, Joanna? Where do you live? Where do you call home, I should say? Oh, did I lose her? Did I lose everybody?
Can't hear you, Jessica. I think you're on mute.
Oh,
no, she's not on mute. Joanna, can you hear me?
oh, okay.
I'm not sure why she can't hear us.
Okay.
Joanna?
We'll
Got
move
ya.
on. Oh, we'll move on, but ask her in the chat maybe.
Joanna, if you can hear us now.
I can hear you.
Okay, the question was, where do you live? Where do you call home now?
I'm in Austin. I'm in Austin, Texas. Yeah. And it is crazy here, y'all. It is crazy.
We know.
It is, you all know. I mean, y'all in California got it down, man. Yeah.
Well,
but I will tell you this. I know you need to move on, but I will tell you this. The things I learned in Minneapolis and Charlotte are absolutely phenomenal in terms of how every other city has to handle things. And if we were being confronted in the way that they are, ours is hidden. And that's why y'all aren't seeing it. We've got Dilley. I was down in Dilley, Texas. Nobody's gonna storm that place because they will kill us. No, and then make something up later. So those people are phenomenal. I learned so much from our neighbors in Minneapolis and Charlotte.
Agree. Well, thank you so much, Joanna, for sharing. Really appreciate it. And this is, like I said, in the back room, we put the things that feel a little bit more intimate, and that's definitely one of them. So you can get right up close to it in the smaller ceiling space back here. So, all right, cool. Karen, where are we off to next?
Right to your right, out of control, below the ice machine.
Below the ice machine.
Yes, and then a public no also, that's going to be Carrie Sclafani. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But she also has one out near Ron's other pieces. So
okay, we'll start here.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Sclafani. I am a photographer, but I am actually really an archivist by trade, and that's my day job and where I make my very small amount of money. And so mostly I come to photography with an eye for documenting for the future and making sure that things that are small and unnoticed get noticed. And so that's this piece here. Yep.
I don't know if they can read it.
I don't know that they can.
It says out of order and the order is crossed out and it says control. So it says out of control.
So that was a nice machine that I came upon. And the other one that's out there is
here we go. Journey.
yes. So that I saw on the side of the road, and actually, and I had emailed you about this. I saw it on the side of the road and I photographed it, and I went back like a day later and it had been painted over. And I honestly think that they saw me taking a picture of it and that's why it got painted over. So now I feel terrible because, it was on an exit ramp at a highway, and I had seen it, and then I went back with the intent to photograph it and drove around until my car was in the right spot where I was, right next to it, because it was off of an exit ramp of a busy highway. And I noticed that there's a camera there. But yes, thank you. That is true. Now it lives in perpetuity. So
that's kind of cool. I mean, it's not cool that it was painted over. I hope that there are more and more places, but cool that you captured it before it was painted over.
And somebody said, because of you, we can still see it.
Thank you.
That's true.
I guess that is the consolation prize there. Yes.
It is.
So
I would love to get that and paint it all over myself. I wonder who that artist is. Anyway, thank you very much, Carrie.
thank you very much for having me in the show.
Yes. Are there any questions for Carrie?
I have a question.
Yes.
And I think that this is also a general question, but I would love to see these large, if not life size, larger than life, like a photo of an ice machine that is the size of an ice machine.
Mm.
They're very powerful images. This graffiti image would really benefit from an increase in scale. If you ever have the opportunity, I encourage you, Carrie, to go big.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be.
I didn't even think about that, but cool. All right.
Thank you for that suggestion.
All right, Karen, I think I'm ready for next.
Let's go take a look at Sadie's We the People booklet right outside of the book.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to hold it. It's right here on a podium. And it is a here. Oh, is somebody not muted? Oh, somebody's doing dishes, I think. Okay, here we go. Very powerful. You should, I won't read it because I don't know that I should speak, but Sadie, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sorry, that was me because I was prepared to talk about it, and my daughter's in the other room, and my husband's doing dishes.
I'm so sorry. You're perfectly fine. Make all the noise you want.
Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I've just so the booklet is just kind of depicting the hypocrisy of the Trump administration, to really show the truth to the people who live in denial. And it also has like some very personal feelings in there too. Like that page right there, especially, it's just like kind of how I feel a lot. I live in Southeast Louisiana, right? In I'm a teacher in Slidell, Louisiana. And so the political climate affects my day-to-day life, and my family is also like very Republican, and they live in a lot of denial. And so I really created this as a way to heal. And they're all hand drawings that I did in my sketchbook, and then I scanned them in the computer, and I plan to make these booklets out of them. And I made 100 copies. So what I do is when I go to public places, I drop them off in different areas. That one right there is one of my favorites. Those hold, deserve, and fear, shame, because it's just being from the deep South and living in a place that's extremely racist everywhere you go. It's really hard when you don't have those views and you have to deal with it. People assume that you are like them and have their views, like religiously, politically, and so like racially. And so they go out of their way to like just like make comments about it so casually. And it's really difficult to be around all the time. And I really needed a place to heal. And so it's a way of me healing, as well as me doing something to be an activist, because I feel like it's so important right now to do things like that.
Thank you so much, Sadie. I was going to say, we haven't been mentioning price on these pieces because this is an artist talk and not really a sales opportunity. But I did want to say, for many of us in here who feel needing to connect with other areas, other places, other people who are in the minority where they are, her books, the prints are for sale for $25. So we'd be happy to mail them to anybody who wants one. So just let us know if you'd like to purchase one, and we'll mail one out to you. Because this is incredible and vulnerable, and I absolutely love it. Thank you, Sadie.
And Sadie, I'm not sure if you have read any of the chat, but everybody is very excited about your booklet.
I see that.
And James Frost, especially, he mostly participates in the chat. He's another one of our artists, and he said you're a rock star. So I just wanted to make sure you saw that, heard that.
Thank you. I am making a volume 2 also. I'm not stopping.
Good. Good.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sadie, did you consider the idea of having somebody read your book out loud at the reception or anything along those lines?
No, I didn't think about that. That probably, I don't know. I feel like it has to be an intimate thing that you take the time to look at and read and digest, I guess.
But that's a good idea. If you're open to it, I've got a middle suggestion. At our Artist Voices show or event next Thursday, I can read one of the pages and then encourage everybody to come and read the rest of it so that they can engage with it personally. Because it is, I mean, you can kind of see me, but it is very delicate and precious and intimate, and you want to turn the pages. So I'll say that.
So the reason that I'm saying it is that I feel like I'll never know what's in that book.
Yeah. Well, maybe I will read it as a video and post that. Thoughts?
Okay. That's fair.
You're so bold. Go, Sadie.
Thank you so much, Sadie, for sharing. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And Jesse, so you don't have to move, Jen Meyer, she has the 3, the Boycott, Strike, Sanctuary collages. She would also like to speak.
All right, here we go. Sorry for the glare. I haven't mastered how to work the glare in a gallery yet, so we're getting
Hey everybody. Sorry, there we go. I basically the week after it might have been the week of the election, I started making little 4x6 collages that were inspired by Gene Sharp's 198 Tactics of Nonviolent Resistance. So I did 10 and I sort of put the 198 into some broader, bigger categories because his list is very long. But I also made a zine that's kind of a teaching tool. I was posting them. And so for me, these are the originals, but for me, I've made actual postcards of all 10 and with a zine about each of the tactics and kind of why they work and what you should do. There we go. And I used them as a fundraiser I live in Northern Arizona. We have only one immigrant legal service nonprofit north of Phoenix in the entire state, and they are on a shoestring operation. They had a part-time paralegal as their primary legal advisor. So anyway, for me, it's like combination of like teaching tool, fundraising tool, cathartic tool for me, like in those weeks immediately following the election in 24. So that's my scoop.
And you don't know me, but I'm very big on, I have ideas all the time. Sometimes they're crazy and people call it crazy. I have an idea. I think we should ask all of you guys in this show, whoever your charity of choice is that you were going to donate or select to receive the percentage of the contribution, you could send those to us and we can post your art, tag them, and then say the percentage goes back. Maybe people who follow that charity might be interested in your work, knowing it's supporting that institution or organization. So Karen, sorry, I just signed us up for another good idea.
Oh, yay.
Thank you for that, Jen. I appreciate it. Did anybody have any questions about these? They're really cool. We definitely had people sorting through them this weekend at the opening. All right. Who am I going to next, Karen?
Across the room, you can go, well, just across the doorway, I guess. We're going to talk about the State of the Union with Kim Stewart.
Yes. Okay. So I can't show this whole piece here. You know what I will? I'll show the whole piece from afar. We've got some of Annika's piece is in front of it visually when you stand that far. But when you're close, I really want to focus on the details of this piece. And well, I won't talk about it. Go ahead. Sorry. Kim, I'm taking your thunder.
You're not taking my thunder. It's fine. So first off, this is the first one of these artist talks I've ever done, so I'll do my best.
Oh, you're doing great.
I started working on this pretty much December of 2024. And if you just kind of flip up to the top portion, you see that and this was sort of like the fiber art piece that never would end. It was one thing, then it was more things, then it was more things, and still more. So if you look at the very top, you see that all of the mouths are big and red and smiling, and they all have a lot of space and a lot of area between them. And then as you kind of work your way down from top to bottom, the color changes. It's not red anymore. It's other colors besides red. The mouths get smaller. Everybody gets more crammed together the further down you get, especially when you get to the blues. And then the browns and the grays and the blacks are really crammed together. Nobody's happy. Nobody's smiling. Nobody's good. That's kind of my original thought was right after the election results came in that all of the people in the red camp were running around screaming bloody murder about how they had mandates and this, the whole nine. And I was watching a couple of speeches after I had put the mouths on. And then I thought, wow, these people are just saying crazy things. So then I don't have no idea why, but all of a sudden I am programming my little sewing machine that does, like one line of embroidery with these super long quotes. And the quotes at the top it starts at the very top and it says, do these people even understand what they're saying?
You can't, I'm going to get closer here in a second to show you my favorite part of it. But in between the lips is what she's talking about. She has stitched words. And go ahead, please. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's great. So the words are literally the top in the red section are what I would consider to be red quotes. Things like Americans are going to have to suck it up, or just whatever. I don't even remember.
Losers, shut up. Americans are going to have to suck it up. Basically, all of that.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And as you work your way down, it starts to work away from the reds and more into the kind of people who are all crammed together, the more marginalized, the more, now we're into the blues, the blue politics, and then we're into the brown and the gray and the black representing like people. And, all the rest of us are just getting smushed together, crammed together, but we have things to say as well. So the quotes, as with the fabric, just kind of gradually take on a different tone. And then you get down to the bottom and the quotes are more like, when we run out of food, we'll just eat the rich, or I dissent, things like that, things that were important. So I stopped there initially. And then I waited a couple months until I wasn't quite as angry anymore. And then I went to do the quilting in between the rows, not the embroidery. I mean, clearly, if you look at it, you can see that I just got angry all over again. And it's just like anger thread painting.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in here had some anger when they were making their pieces as well. So,
and then I stopped again. And then I decided that it really wasn't fair that the Constitution was being stomped on so completely. So I printed the fabric that the Constitution, that the preamble to the Constitution is on, and then I ripped it into different pieces and attached it. And I would have thought that would have been finished. And then I decided to take the black fabric, that's the border, is basically the same fabric that they make widow veils out of. If you were to, be like a widow who is going to a wedding, that's the fabric. And then I thought I was done, but then I got this crazy idea and I wanted some army men. And I went on eBay and I found these little army men, but these are skeleton army men. And I painted them orange and I put the gold leaf on them. And then I sewed them on. So at the top, they're all like woo-rah. But then as you get down to the bottom,
Yeah, they're upside down.
they're all upside down and falling down. Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, I cut the stencils and put the jack boots on top of all the people that were down at the bottom. Because all the people at the top in the red, they think they're stepping on us, but we will see.
It's incredible. Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't mean to move that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is an incredible piece. It was cool during it, seeing your application. It was even cooler receiving it.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have it there. Like, I sat on this for a long time looking for the right place at the right time because I wanted it to be in a place where it would have friends and family nearby. And I have to say, I flew over for the reception and I had invited a whole bunch of because, I used to live in Venice, and I had invited a whole bunch of my friends, and everybody's like, wow, this place is so cool. I feel like it is in a good spot because it's got friends and family around it. And so I totally appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much. Really appreciate it. And I'm so glad you came out to the opening. It was a very special night. I didn't talk about it earlier, but anybody who missed the opening, it was definitely our biggest thus far, but it was also very engaging. A lot of times people go to art openings and they're holding their beverage and chatting with their friends and looking at the art a little bit. This was definitely an inspection show. People came and gave time to each piece and looked and posted about it and shared and hung around. We didn't even serve alcohol and people were here. So that says something, I think.
There was a question from Annika about your stitching process, Kim. Let me read this for her. She said she's honored to be near your lovely art. We're going to hear from her next about her battle jackets. But she said your stitching is gorgeous, and she wanted to know if she could ask about your process for applique for the mouths. They're each so lovely, and she appreciates each voice is unique.
So what I did for those, they're all created from scraps from other stuff that I've made in the past. Some of that's art stuff, some of it's like apparel or bags or whatever. And I literally took a, what do you call it? Rotary cutter. I cut every single one of them out by hand. And by then I had the idea of the reds would be, the big predominant ones at the top. And when I started working with the ones that are, I don't want to say like, oh, the black, the brown, the ones when I think of in my mind, like the pride flag ones or the blue ones for the Democrats or the liberals or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I try to represent as many different varieties as I could because, I mean, even within the same groups, we're not all the same. We're all different. And I just try to make as many different voices, I guess is maybe what I would call it.
And did you, I mean, each one is uniquely stitched in a matching color, but even the stitching looks artistic.
So I got super lucky, and like 2 years ago, I upgraded from my original Costco sewing machine and got a sewing machine that actually has a few features, even though I'd had that Costco one for like 12 years. And so I literally would just go through it with like, oh, that's kind of a cool stitch. I'm going to use that. Because again, you just want to make it different. And I didn't know if this thing would ever see the light of day. Because like I say, I've been so angry so many times while I was working on this. I poked myself in the fingers about 18 million times sewing that black stuff on because it's not what you would use, and it did not want to cooperate.
Oh, well, I'm going to ask you before we move on, and I think we're going to Annika next, and I hope we haven't been saying her name wrong. So just heads up, Annika, teach me how to say your name. But Kim, how many hours do you think you spent on this bad boy?
Are we going to include the time that I thought about it while I would wake up with some crazy new idea?
Yeah, James Frost said more thought in this piece than my entire life.
Oh, wow.
You know what? It was a long time because it is one of those. So you can't tell, but like there's a Murphy bed in my area of the house where I work, and it hung here unfinished on the wall next to me. It's funny that you say you're a graphic designer because that's like my day job is graphic and web design. So and I work from home. So it's like I'm sitting here looking at it, working, and it just kept growing. It's a lot of time. It's more time than I have spent on any other piece that I have ever made.
That says a lot. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed with it. So I'm also obsessed with these next pieces here. And I'm going to pivot. I think I'm going to go ahead and lower the camera. Hang on a second. All right. How about this? All right. Annika or Annika, please fix me. Oh, are you there? Oh. How do I hope somebody's.
Plus. Oh God, I hate technology. It is Annika, but Annika is the Scandinavian way to pronounce it if it makes you feel any better.
Make me feel better, but how do you pronounce it?
I pronounce it Annika.
Got it. Okay, my bad. Go about these. Do you want to start? I don't know what you want to do.
Sure. I'll start with the leather one because that's the one I started with first.
Okay.
So it's funny because these jackets, I've been doing battle jackets probably since the last Trump administration and trying to find ways to use my art in a way that also meshes with my degrees in fashion design. So I am classically and traditionally trained in both of those, but I've been trying to find a way to blend all of those, but also in a way to support my community and for them to get access to pieces that weren't bespoke. So the last year or so, I started mixing upcycling with vintage finds with my artwork. Every single patch is hand pressed. It is illustrated, designed, heat pressed, sewn, cut individually. The ones that are the news, they are actual headlines of the news that is going on. For example, the one that Jess just pointed to is Good and Pretty. And they are sewn. They are turned into their own patches. And so I do those all individually as well.
Oh, this one.
Mm-hmm. But it was a way for my community to be able to access art pieces that spoke to them because I truly believe that everyone is a work of art and everyone should feel empowered. But the irony of these jackets is that I had just created these particular pride pieces and anti-ice art, and I had been at a gallery and I was doing a market there where I very quickly realized that as a queer gender fluid artist that was speaking out against the administration, it was not where I should be. So people made it clear pretty quickly. They're very aggressive, very loud. They did not like that I was there and that I was visible and that I had something to say. So these jackets are the result of that. I was just in such a blind grief and fury for the collective apathy that I think that has brought us here, that inspired these pieces. So I'm all about alchemizing trauma. So that's what these are from. I see that there is a question. It is a hood. It is supposed to be stylized as like armor, and it's got the little skull on it, and the skull actually glows in the dark.
The skull is on this side, yeah. Yes. There's so much to see in these pieces. We had people at the show, at the opening, just going around and reading each piece, much like Kim's piece here. There's just so much to see. I'm going to try and show you more here. But yeah, the headlines are on everything.
Yeah. So that pride flag is the most important to me. I started that one during the first administration when I thought we were done with this hellscape.
Yeah.
And as part of my queer community, everyone I know, is scared, and their rights were already being trampled upon then. So, I was just ahead of my time in the sense that it's like, no, like, fuck you. Like, the first pride was a riot, gays hit cops.
Yep.
If you think that we're going back, we're not. Like,
no,
you
nope.
picked the wrong generations.
I totally agree. I'm right there with you. Annika, where do you reside?
So I live up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Essentially the middle of nowhere.
Well, I'm glad you're here in Southern California. You're in good space. I'm obsessed with this vest. If it doesn't go home with somebody else, it might have to go home with me. My wife and I, somebody was talking about how amazing California is earlier. And sure, we are very lucky to live here. There's wonderful things. You also pay the price, right? It's expensive to live here. But not every neighborhood is queer friendly. And my wife and I live here in Hermosa Beach, and in the beach cities, it's had a history of not being as queer friendly. And it has changed a lot in the last couple of decades. And we started an organization here, even though we're right up from Venice, very queer, and right up from West Hollywood. We started Hermosa Pride as a nonprofit here in town, and our Pride org, we're not on the board anymore, but we helped form it. They meet here regularly, and we tell everybody this is a safe space for the queer community. If something happens and everything goes wackadoodle, everybody just show up here. This will be a safe space. So these pieces are in the right place. Thank you.
I'm just so proud to be among so many beautiful and talented artists and to speak truth.
Thank you very much, Annika. I appreciate it. Are there any questions for Annika?
I have one question.
Yes, go for it.
I'm wondering would you consider these finished pieces, or are they ever evolving as the political landscape continues to change?
Yes. So I am actually continuing to do these as a series and submitting them to various galleries. So what I am doing is, because every time I read the news, like, I have to only do it in a chunk of time because I actually cry. So what I do is I collect them, and I'm keeping a folder of them. And then when I feel emotionally stable, then I will go and I'll start creating again. But what I am doing is collecting it as it happens. So because battle jackets are so much what people consider time capsules, it works in that way where it's like, okay, so this is what happened in this month. And so I'm trying to do them as a series. So I will do it on whatever bullshit is happening in the news currently, right? And so it is the headlines that I've collected from this month. And so I'm creating a series of them as they go. But I always try to make sure that I'm collecting for different ones. So like I have one behind me that's specifically just for the trans community. I just finished one for my Native American friends. And then I just finished another for Black Lives Matter for my other friend. So they're each going to be their own unique piece. But what I love is that people make it their own. And I know, I just believe that every piece finds its person, and it always brings strength to that person. And that's what I love the most about just creating fashion.
So insanely affordable. So you need to.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I agree.
But I think, much like many of the other artists in here, you prioritize it being seen, heard, and wanted, and within reach for the right people. So appreciate that too.
Yes. Well, like I said, I'm just so happy to be here. It's so important.
Awesome. I agree. Thank you. All right, Karen, where are we going next?
Erin has the Lies Have No Legs piece.
Yes.
And the Gesture of Blame, that would be Erin Lewis, as long as I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, great.
So cool. All right, go ahead, Erin.
Hi, friends. I have two pieces. I have this piece and Gesture of Blame. I'm primarily a sculptural book artist, and I make books out of primarily fabric, wood, paper mache. And a lot of my work deals with the concept of systemic language and how language is coded to kind of um, obscure or in some cases completely obliterate the underpinnings of abuse. So my this one piece, lies have no legs. There's this very sort of, trite saying that lies have short legs, and that inevitably that someone's lies do catch up with them. And I feel like I started this during Trump's first term in office, which is why it's orange. But it was really about the idea that there was this kind of pernicious and persistent lying, and it just kept happening. And everybody knew it was a lie, but it just persisted. And I totally get Kim's idea where there's this part of you where it's like a piece starts, and I started with a very basic outline because, as you can see, the other work is a lot more minimal, and it started very minimally. And as the more news I watched, the more press briefings I heard, the more I listened and paid attention, the worse it got. And then there was just more thread and more sewing. And in a way, the sewing is kind of mimetic. It's in a way kind of something that makes me feel like I can digest the information that I'm seeing and reading far more slowly and with far more discernment. It's a way of slowing down that kind of mechanical process of feeling like things are just thrown at you all the time.
I agree. Let me show you the other piece here. Hang tight. I've got to move Annika's piece a little bit so I can fit here. Here we go. There we go. And I'm realizing now it's backwards. I don't know how to fix that. Is it backwards for you guys too?
No.
Oh, good. Cool. Just me.
Okay, so my work generally has hand-carved wooden elements, and it's a little hard to see here, but these are all fingers, and they're all pointing at the viewer. They're all index fingers, and they're all pointing forward. And this is a similar idea that there's this sort of coded language. I am a resident of Newark, New Jersey, and we have the distinction and the displeasure of being one of the places in the United States that has a for-profit detention center.
Oof.
So Newark, New Jersey has Delaney Hall, which is an exigent building for the Essex County Prison. And several of my colleagues have gone down there to help people who have been incarcerated and have been detained through ICE. So part of what this piece was this idea that there is this gesture of blame, like there's this constant desire to point representationally through politics to point a finger at a specific group of people and say those people are the reason why you're upset or you're miserable or you're not doing well. And it's scapegoating. Of course it's scapegoating, but that gesture of blame is always repeated and it's never accurate. And it's just, again, calling out that lie. Around the edges of the piece, you're going to see so this is all bespoke lace. It's handmade lace that my great grandmother brought over with her when she immigrated to the United States. So it's this,
wow.
Yeah, it's this memento of me understanding that gesture of blame was pointed at my family and other families and other families. And so that idea never really changes and it never really goes away. It just, the finger just points at someone else.
It's true. Wow. Man, you guys explaining this stuff makes it even deeper. It's incredible work, and the time and intricacy that you guys put into these pieces that are hand sewn or thought through fabric. I'm a little fascinated with fabric arts. We have a show coming up in August that we are putting a call out hopefully this week for. So those of you that have these fabric pieces, look out for that. More opportunity to put cool stuff in, but I love it. Thank you so much for your time and effort put into this, telling your story and using family heirlooms in your pieces. I mean, that's just incredibly vulnerable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Erin or anybody thus far? Okay, cool. Karen, where are we going next?
Devin Sharon is here for her piece Livestock, which is
yes
to your left.
All right. Let me see if I can raise this one more. Hang tight. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so impressed with everything everyone is saying. I feel like that might be a little underwhelming as a follow-up. But so I'm from Southern California. I am currently living in Colorado in a tourist town in the mountains. So I'm kind of in a little bubble here. This painting I painted pretty much right after Roe v. Wade was overturned. I went to bed that night and I had seen stuff on social media, and this quote from a video someone posted just kind of was playing in my head as I was falling asleep. And the quote is, "There is a term for living creatures who are not allowed to control their own reproduction. That term is livestock." And so then I just thought, what does that mean to me? And I've always been drawn to the female form. I've always been, I guess you could say, kind of a feminist painter, and just always wanting to discuss women's issues. And I'm not normally political, but that just struck me. And I don't think I've ever kind of just had this urge to just get this piece done right away and just get it out of my body. Just get it out from what I was kind of just picturing in my mind. So I kind of just had like a couple day really passionate painting session, and it's definitely different from any styles that I have done previously. And it just, the nudity is part of being a woman and feeling always vulnerable, always naked. There's always a part of you exposed. You're always kind of just hung out there, ripe for attack of some sort. Let's see.
It's true. Also, thank you. There's print. This individual piece is incredible. Not for sale, but we do have prints of it. Thank you so much for providing those. I think what I particularly love about this piece, if I might add a little bit here, is that people in these shows naturally go to like, ooh, body parts, and they see naked woman and they instantly, like we all like the look of a naked lady. And then it hits you what it is, right? And so it's great at capturing and representing the topic. And even the feet are dirty. Like I loved that part. So like,
Thank you.
Really incredible piece.
Yeah, I will say, I've had this piece for a little while. Again, I live in a small town, in tourist town, and I'm in Breckenridge, Colorado. So, we get a lot of people up from Texas and people from all over the country and really the world kind of just coming in, and you never know who's going to come in. And I worked in this shop for a little while, and I had some little prints of this up, but it's kind of a piece that for me it makes me feel at times a little apologetic, which is really sad. I feel like, oh, should I hide that? What if people see that? And then people would walk through the shop and they would see it. And one woman just like said something to her husband, like, I don't want to be tied up and branded. And I think she thought it was like some S&M thing, which I've gotten that so much. They think, oh, it's like a bondage situation. And I'm like, look closer. Like, and I had to just kind of bite my tongue and just be like, okay, the people who aren't going to get it aren't going to get it. It's not for them.
Well, it's perfect in here. So thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me a reason to be proud of it and to show it and to, give it to the people who it is for.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Devin, Annika wanted to know how long it took you. She said that every detail is so precise.
Gosh, I will say, and when I say like a day of painting, that could be like 4 hours because my day is always broken up by other stuff, but maybe 20 hours in this piece. And I've just gotten to a point in my life where I can just finally match my pieces with what I see in my head, and I can do it quickly, and I'm working even quicker now, and I'm just, especially and I think this was maybe the catalyst for how I work now, because like even the kind of blue outline around the figure, I've always been pretty accurate as far as like what's seen in a photo. Even the blue outline has kind of like a little bit of a detour from that like photorealism, because I do think that the hand of the artist in the work is really important. So yeah, probably 20 hours, maybe more. And yes, thank you for noticing the tie, because I didn't think that people noticed that it's a red tie.
Who noticed it was a tie? Was it James?
Sean.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say James always noticed the little details. I see you, James. Okay. Thank you so much, Devin. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Karen, where are we going next?
All right. We have the manifesto on the podium.
Yes.
James Thatcher has been very active in our chat, and he's had to wait a very long time as we moved around the room and back to his collaborative piece. So
I am going to
appreciate
lower
that. I haven't forgotten anyone. I keep going back and checking. So
okay, here we go.
Well,
Here.
I really hope that the author would be able to join us, but she's traveling and sends her apologies. I came across her essay late one night on Threads, and the opening thread is, let's have a conversation about art as an act of rebellion in an authoritarian age. So, okay. So I'll leaf through that, and it just got deeper and deeper and harder. And I stayed up till like 2 o'clock transcribing from Threads into my computer, typing it out and digging it big time. And the idea is that this essay has to get to artists. It's a site-specific bit of writing that's just been put out into the ether, but it needs to be in a gallery, and artists need to look at this, because I am seeing, when I say dozens and dozens, I don't mean 24. I mean like probably 100 or 144 individual posts of artists feeling impotent and feeling like what they're doing doesn't matter. And what do I do? Or why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the point? And that's what this essay is all about. And I want to thank Jessica for having the guts to read this at the opening. It's a good bit of video to watch because of her delivery. This is a piece that deserves to be shouted out. And Jessica's delivery is very strong. And
it's funny, if I may, a little bit. Karen, who you guys have now met, coordinates a lot of the details here. And she was like, we should get a mic, because we knew we were going to read it. Should we get a mic and a like a karaoke machine or something in here? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to read it. And nobody's ever accused me of being too quiet. So, and this is a very echoey room. So it actually worked out perfectly. But I think what I didn't anticipate was how caught up I would get in reading it myself. Like I had, I'd already scanned it. I knew I wouldn't be able to read from the ticker tape because I needed the words and the sentences as a whole to land. It's hard to read if you're paying attention, is what I mean to say. But I did, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I did post on our Instagram a video of me reading it. For anybody who's not on social media, I totally support that, totally get that. Fuck Meta. We're victims of trying to promote blah. Happy to send the recording to you. Just let me know in some which way, and I'm happy to send them.
And
I didn't interrupt you, Jane.
It extended the collaborative aspect of it. I'm not a collaborative artist per se. And so I read this essay, blown away. I have to send a DM to a woman that I don't know. So it was just a very straightforward message about how strong her piece was. And could I create an artwork that could be shown in our church or our art center or possibly museums? And she was like, yeah, sure. You do that. And so the thought process of how to get it from being an essay into a work of art, man, I'm thinking of text-based paintings, creating stencil. I don't know what to do. And I really don't know the leap of intuition that took this to a Dymo label maker. My dad had one in the 60s and made these labels.
And it's not a short essay.
Oh gosh, it's a page and a half. It's a 5-minute read for sure. And it transcribes to over 65 feet of Dymo tape, which is fun in itself. But the absurdity of the idea that this is something that you could stick somewhere. One. Two, this is absurd to think that somebody's going to come into a space and read it ticker tape style.
Well, I would like to try that. But like I said, the night of, I thought, oh my gosh, if I get stuck on this, I'm going to miss, some of the pieces, some of the paragraphs that she wrote. There's a real sticker. I mean, she's obviously a great writer. There's a real landing of the sentence. And I thought, I'm going to screw that up if I read it like this. So instead, I took this like I was reading it and took it on the ground and then read from behind it. So it worked.
I was really pleased to see it on the ground too. It takes it into installation a little bit.
Me too.
But the writing is declarations. It's declaration after declaration. And that's how Jessica read it. And then when I say this needs to be shouted, it's kind of because of its declarative nature. I mean, it's boom, 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 one after another. And I just love it.
In a way, it's a love letter to artists to remind you that you're the revolutionary makers, and you as artists are what start the revolution. It's very powerful, and if you haven't watched it, read it, whatever, please do. And thank you so much, James, for finding it, partnering, and creating this amazing piece.
A great pleasure and a very unique kind of piece for me to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Karen, how are we doing with time?
We've got a little bit.
Okay, cool.
We should go over to Torch Girl Stomps the World by Terry Werner. That's in the back corner next to.
Yep.
Okay. And then we have one more from the list after that. So unless I know there's a couple extra people in here who haven't spoken, if you don't want to, obviously you don't have to, but we'd love to at least cruise by your piece. Rhonda Erding is in here. She didn't mention she wanted to speak, which is fine.
Wait, I'm lost. I got the wrong piece.
Oh,
Sorry.
Nope, you're in the wrong place.
Okay, back in.
Nope. Yep, there you go.
Over here.
Sorry, Karen, I am here, Rhonda Erding.
Yeah, I saw that you were here, but you didn't mention if you wanted to speak. So you don't have to, but I wanted to make sure we cruised by your piece at some point as well. So
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Terry, let me
Hi,
raise
everybody. Yeah, I'm Terry. I'm Therese. I'm Tess. I have all kinds of names. So anyway,
I was lost. I was like, wait, Terry and I've been emailing, but which piece? Got it. Here we go.
All right. So Torch Girl Stomps the Wall. So this is another one that was, I guess you'd say, inspired by Trump's first administration. I really wanted to do something about the family separation that was going on. And it's sort of a collaboration with my granddaughter, who was a lot younger at that time. And I said, I want to do the Statue of Liberty, but I don't want her to be traditional. And so she did some research and said, oh, Torch Girl is another name for the Statue of Liberty. And I'm going, well, that's perfect. So Torch Girl can kick down the wall with her army boots or whatever they are, and help the families get back together. And of course, the saying, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. My daughter is also an artist, and she does a lot of textual art. So she created the little banner for me. And so anyway, it certainly is apropos today with all the anti-immigrant sentiment going on, and our huddled masses deserve to be free and be here. And so that's basically what it is. And just a little couple technical notes on the top. The rays coming out from the torch are actually glass. I used to be a stained glass artist a long time ago when I could see. And the tree is also glass. And so that's the story of the art. And
this is one of those pieces I wish y'all were here in person to see, because there is so much texture, the glass that she mentioned, but also this is hand stitched together here. And then more glass here, but even the texture on Torch Girl is very thick and feels like it looks like fabric up close.
Yes, and the boots are actually pieces of paper, but they had texture to them as well, and then I painted them. And then the wall is made with some very coarse acrylic medium to make it stand out as well.
Yeah, it's definitely like
and the people are almost not insignificant, but I think it gives the feeling of powerlessness, that there was nothing that maybe the parents on one side of the wall and the children on the other could do at the time. And
it's incredible. Thank you so much, Terry.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, Karen, where are we going next? I heard somebody speak up.
Yes. So the last person who wants to speak that I am aware of at this point is Jen Wilkins, the Mad King, and Planet. I'm not sure how to say Palantir. She'll tell us.
Okay.
The Mad King's at the front.
Yep.
The sculpture.
And
then we have a few people that are here that we should maybe show their pieces, but maybe don't want to speak, and that's fine. But I think Jen is our last speaker.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
And James said he can offer or answer any questions if anyone has any, if you show his piece after.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna show that next for sure.
Okay, great. And I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, you're good, you're good. Here we go. Try
All
not.
right. I mean, listening to everyone, I just feel like the pieces are just so heavy, but I can't stop smiling, which is just so schizophrenic because everything makes me so happy. What I've been hearing from everyone and having the pieces explained makes it so much more powerful. Um, about my art, when I was younger, I wanted to be a full-time artist, had to make the rent, so um, a daytime job is always the reality for me, and then the art is on the side. But I feel like it's woodworking or photography. I just got into ceramics, mixed media arts. I just have to create because I feel like if I don't, my brain will explode. So with those kinds of pieces, I feel like I would like to make cheerful art, but we're just not in those kinds of times. So they usually go towards a more morbid theme because it's the rage that comes out and the anger. And maybe talking about the materials, I love to use um, repurposed materials. So those are toy soldiers that my boys played with when they were smaller. And the idea actually started. I came home one day and they had decorated the kitchen with those army soldiers, and they had put them on pots and pans and on the fridge, and they were everywhere. And it was during the time when Russia invaded Crimea, and it was just such a powerful image because I felt like they brought the war into our kitchen. And when bombs hit in war zones, they just destroy everyday lives and they just, yeah, they just ruin families' homes. So I spray painted them. I use a lot of rusted metal that I find along the way, and I just keep in my garage, much to my husband's pleasure. Then the crown is made out of wax. Um, this is actually the wax that's on top of the Maker's Mark whiskey. I had never drunken straight hard liquor before, but during the first Trump term, I felt like I just needed something that burns in my throat. So I've collected a lot of those wax tops, and they are just perfect for making a crown that looks like blood. Um, I don't know if you have any questions.
This is amazing. This is one of Karen's favorite pieces, I'll say. She's been really excited about receiving it. So when we got it, she was really elated. So sorry, Karen, I'm speaking for you.
No, I'm so excited to be in the show. And I mean, this is so insane because it actually the call for art showed up in my Facebook feed of all places. So I felt like the evil algorithm finally did something good. And I had to check if it was legit, and I was just so excited about the show.
Well, we're so grateful to have you in it, and it's been a pleasure meeting you and getting to know you coming in. So appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Do you want to show the Palantir one? I think it's behind you.
Palantir. Let's see.
It's right behind you.
Right behind me. Wait, up here. Wait, why can't, hang on, it's because I don't have glasses on. There we go.
No, it's a Jesse, can you, if you can hear me, it's above the fire extinguisher by the bathroom.
Oh, I was like, where? I know I've seen it. Okay.
I hit it. It's a,
yes.
It's a find me.
It's hard to see.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, and see the army soldiers, I definitely like that idea with like gold leaf on it. I think that's brilliant. It kind of stuck with me because I feel like taking things out of context, like kids' toys, and put them in different places, just give them a totally different meaning and hopefully change people's perspective just looking at it. So Palantir, is the company, you're probably all aware of it, that's just infiltrating all of our data and collecting all of our data. And unfortunately, governments around the world are using that software in their police forces to pretty much get to a point where they can predict when somebody might commit a crime. And it's just so invasive and it's just so corrupt that
they made a movie way back in the day of that, if you recollect.
Right, right. With
and
Tom
here it
Cruise or
is.
something. Yeah, I know. Don't they ever watch any sci-fi movies? They should really know better. But I felt like this one is just powerful because it's right under the surface and somebody's watching you, and every social media post and every vote you cast could put you on a list. And we should just never give up that right, because if we decide to not post and to not vote, then we have already given up that freedom. So it's so important for us to be strong. And something like this show, is just so inspiring and so motivating. And I hope to see you all out there on Saturday for the No Kinks protest somewhere.
Yes, yes.
So thank you for putting this on. I love all art.
Thank you so much. Okay, before we go, this is James Frost's piece here. I absolutely love, James, that you gave a nod to Native American strife but made it a beautiful piece, obviously, with the resist. I don't actually know what the name of this is, if anybody knows what the cuffs, maybe it's called a cuff, I don't know. But it's incredible. And James was working on it till the right last second. And so we appreciate you. Karen, I can't see because I don't have my glasses on again.
That's all right.
Tell me if there's more to say here.
So he's responding in the chat for anybody who can participate, that the band on the man's arm spells out, it's finger spelled in American Sign Language, resist. And that's the title of the piece as well.
It's incredible.
And then
detail here. Who else do we got here? Who else can I show off? I mean, there's
Rhonda Erding. She has Dear Leader up next to the Predator in Chief. It's a collage piece.
Yes, but where did we put it in here? Why am I?
No, it right behind you, actually.
Oh,
two over from
blue face.
Yes.
The blue face.
Yes, she's on here too. So.
Oh, thank you, Rhonda. I'm coming. Here we go. I found it. Woo.
Yes, hello. I'm Rhonda Erdang. I live in northern Arizona in Flagstaff. And I actually copied a piece that I made in 2013 called Dear Leader. You can see it on my website. And it was actually a little piece of Kim Jong-un with a monkey down below with a medical bag. And I turned it into Dear Leader. Trump is always trying to convince us that he's not a criminal syndicate. I kind of happen to know different. I've been married to a New Yorker for 40 years who grew up with Trump in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and they always knew he was a criminal. I did some reading in 2024. There was a Gambino crime family underboss named Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravino, who endorsed Trump shortly before the 2024 election, declaring, "I'm going to call him a gangster. We need a gangster." And this was written in a magazine by a journalist named Bob Lynn out of the Medium. There was also another crime boss, Michael Franzese, who is from the Colombo crime family, who also endorsed Trump.
My God.
And I'm kind of convinced that the Trump family is definitely a crime family. That's why I flew on the, I put on the black mobster gloves. And then I'm kind of, then the piece also shows RFK Jr. With all his vaccine misinformation. So that's just kind of what the piece is about.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. This is another piece that you get up close to and you can see all the textures and work here. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I got into a fight this week with somebody who told me they hate Trump, but they love RFK and wish that he would have been president. And I thought, I don't know how deluded you are, but anyway, it was a whole thing.
Jean May is here with domestic terrorism, but thank you, Jean. ICE agent holding a gun over man on street.
Got it.
Thank you. I could not, I knew the name of it, and one of those that the picture of it would not pop into my brain. So thank you so much for the reminder. And she's going to head over there right this second.
Yeah. So it's not in the show.
No, it's on the online show, right?
It is. It's on
Yes.
Artsy. And I flipped my camera around because it's right in front of me.
Well, wait, let me pin you then. Let me pin you. Give me a second.
Unpin me.
My lights are kind of pink right now, so the color's off, but
can everybody thumbs up if you see the screen? It's on the screen for you, or somebody tell me that it's the main photo. Yeah. Okay, great. So you can see it. Okay, I fixed.
Okay. Okay, so this is I guess it's about the third piece of protest art that I've ever done. I wasn't painting, at the time of Trump's first presidency. So I did a couple of pieces prior to this one, but this one obviously came out of my response to the ICE agents in Minneapolis and Kristi Noem calling the protesters domestic terrorists. And I thought that, is absolutely horrific that she would claim the protesters were, when the domestic terrorists were the ICE agents gunning people down on the street. So, that, and I didn't want to give, you can see, I kind of kept him as a chalk outline because I didn't want to give the figure on the ground any kind of identity as to who it could possibly be, because it could be anybody. So
for those of you that are on Instagram, I appreciate you did a phenomenal post of it, and juxtaposed with the Rage Against the Machine on top of it. It's pretty great. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. As we conclude tonight, I appreciate, I'm sorry if we missed anybody. I try my best to include everybody who showed up and wants to talk about their art. If we missed you, do a recording, post it, whatever, we'll share it. For those of you who understood when I sent it, I said, collab with me on your posts. We're happy. It makes it easier for me because it's just Karen and I trying to do social media. If you don't know how to collab, just hit me up. A few of you, I gave instructions on Instagram. But those of you that aren't on Instagram, I totally get it. I will go back to the application. Those of you that were like, fuck Instagram, which I totally support. I will gladly take your piece and make sure I do a post about it, even though it's on the stupid Instagram. It's the only way I have of, other than in person, of getting it out into the world, and it deserves to be seen. So appreciate all of you. And thank you for trusting us with your art. And we're hoping that next Thursday's event is also well attended and super fun. And I'll post a bunch of pictures from there. And the Artsy show is up, so feel free to tell friends and share your pieces. And again, we're just so grateful. And this is such a meaningful show. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep creating.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was a wonderful experience. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Have
you.
a good,
Thank you
have
so
a good night.
much. Thank you.
course.